Welcome back to our mountains. Today I'm going to be fixing one of my favorites, salmon patties. This has been a staple of the mountains for many years, using canned salmon, and this has fed a lot of hungry families. So today I'm going to be using some canned pink salmon and just going to dump them here in the bowl. And I'm going to take the bones and the skin out. Some people just go ahead and dump the whole thing in, but I personally don't like the looks of that skin. When I was growing up, my mom would make salmon patties, and she did a different recipe than I'm using. She would roll hers in cornmeal and fry them. And they were good, very good. I'm making mine a little bit lighter and a little bit, I think, more of a zesty taste to them. I'm going to add a couple of ingredients that you might not think that goes in a salmon patty, but I love them. And I'm going to make 2 cans today because I like to cook for a crowd. Salmon patties really is an economical meal. A can of salmon you can usually get for anywhere from $2 to $4. And by the time you add your other ingredients, it's a pretty cheap meal. That's a lot of meat. There'll be some good eating tonight. Now, I like to use my hands. I don't want it too mushy. I like to just kind of separate the meat. I'm going to add 1 egg to help bind it together. And just with my hands and the spoon, this will help it stick together. That's one thing about salmon patties. They do tend to fall apart. So after I add the egg, I'm going to add some chopped onion, some dill weed, and this, of course, to your taste. I'm going to add a couple tablespoons because I love the taste of dill. It just makes it smell good too. I've got my pan here on medium-high heat. I'm going to add some cracker meal. Now, I was lazy and I bought this at the store, but you can make your own cracker meal by just putting some saltine crackers in a food processor or just beating them with a hammer or whatever, but I bought these the other night. It's easy. A little bit of cracker meal. And I may want to use some extra meal in a minute to coat the outside so that they will be very crunchy. And lastly, I'm adding some Parmesan cheese that's shredded. When this browns up, it just turns into a real nutty flavor, and I love it with salmon. Put some oil in the skillet and start forming these into patties and fry these. And about that big. Have 2 for every person. The cheese also helps it to bind together so that it doesn't fall apart as bad. And you're wanting to fry these on each side about 4 to 5 minutes, just until they're nice and golden brown. With this meal, you can have your traditional mountain foods. You could have some soup beans and cornbread. You could have macaroni and cheese or macaroni and tomatoes. That's my favorite. About anything goes with this. When my children were young, I would make this, and my husband wanted me to make some creamed peas with it. Now, the children did not care for it, but my husband loved creamed peas on top of his salmon patties. I have some family members that dip their salmon patties in ketchup. I don't think I would like that, but that's okay. Tartar sauce is also another thing you can serve. I'm going to try to make about 10 patties out of this. Okay, I've browned these on both sides about 4 to 5 minutes each, and they're perfect. Golden brown and crispy. So I'm just going to turn my heat off and get ready to plate these up. Steaming hot. Crunchy on the outside, tender on the inside. Just a hint of onion and dill weed. Really good. I know you're going to love these salmon patties, and you're going to love what we've got coming up after the break. Stay tuned.
I'm Nina Harris, and I'm assistant professor at Frontier Nursing University, and I'm also a nurse midwife and a nurse practitioner.
At Frontier Nursing University, it's more than an education, it's a calling. Answer the call.